Welcome. You're now listening to episode 16, Style of Play Football, with myself, as always, Theo, and again, co-host Kojo. What you saying, man? You good?
Yeah, I'm blessed, man. It's blessed, it's been a good week. My team won. Just about. Just about. But yeah,
a win's a win, man.
Yeah, I'm saying 3 places in the bag now. What are you saying?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Do you know what? I'm gonna take a little small victory, albeit not 3 points against Man City. I'll take that because the performance was very, very good. So I'll take that as not as a victory, but as a small little personal win from myself, man. But as always, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like this video. I think I said it last week. I probably said it the last 2 episodes. I can see a lot of people watching the video. I see a lot of people engaging with the channel. Even when I looked at the analytics the other day, there's a lot of people from a lot of countries and other places in England watching this channel. So please make sure you subscribe. We do appreciate that as well. But let's start with the big news that kind of broke this week, surrounding Old Trafford, surrounding your team, Manchester United. I can't really call the next man sir, man. So I'm going to have to call him Jim Ratcliffe. I ain't called someone sir since I've been in school, and I'm going to keep it that way. But Jim Ratcliffe has officially occupied 25% initially shares into Manchester United, which comes as no surprise if you're a Manchester United fan. This has been on the cards for some time now. Initial assessments of that, Kojo, what do you think of that? I think it's an initial 200 million cash up front with 100 million thereafter as well. But what's your initial thoughts on Jim Ratcliffe coming in? INEOS, I think, is the overall group. I think that's umbrella of the company that he's representing as well, I think as well. What's your thoughts?
I'm delighted with it. The funny thing is, we thought 25%, it's actually broken to be out as 27.7. So there's actually a little bit of extra, ownership that he's taken of the club, which is important. And you can see in the plans already, the stuff with Dan Ashworth and, that drama there behind it. But you can see there's ambition behind it. You can see that we've already worked with the council to set a regeneration plan for Manchester, or Trafford in particular, and that includes a stadium. So you've got the car park, you've got so many things that are going to be renovated, and hopefully we get the okay soon for a new stadium. So we're not extending the Trafford or making it bigger anymore. We need a lot, because I'll be very real, and a lot of Man United fans don't like it, because Man United fans are attached to history, and I understand it. That stadium is dead and gone. I hate saying that, but it's just it's lost its place. So yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's tricky because I was reading a report on it yesterday, and a lot of fans, I think, are thinking this 300 million overall initial cash injection is to cover transfer fees or to bring in new players. And I think a lot of what the intentions of this sort of initial inclusion from Jim Ratcliffe was to look at the stadium. That was the initial point of call, like you just said. There has been a lot of talk about whether relocation to a different stadium overall, but I think there is a massive general consensus to stay at Old Trafford and rebuild that Old Trafford as it could be. I think they're talking in the grand, for a new stadium, you're looking 1.2 billion, I think is what I read last night, in terms of keeping up with, the intention is to try and either build Old Trafford to be the Wembley of North, I think is how they dubbed it in the article that I read on The Athletic, or to rebuild a new stadium. Now, that's going to come at a cost either way, because obviously if you rebuild Old Trafford, you've seen it with ANFIELD, they had to close part of the stadium, and then they've had to redo certain things, or you try and fit a lot of that initial work within the summer period when there's the off season, you try and do it then. But there's a lot of work that needs to be done to Old Trafford, not just a leaky roof, but as you said, Ronaldo dubbed on it, mentioned it as well, about the gym area, the cafeteria, the other areas that people don't really know on a day-to-day. Maybe Carrington as well would need an upgrade. So do you think that the money, because a lot of people say, no, we can go and dip into the transfer market, but if you look at the FFP restrictions and complying with that, and the debt that kind of, the loans that, or the way that the deals that have been done recently for United players have been done, there's a lot of outstanding payments still to clear those players that are come in. So do you feel that there is a possibility that these kind of plans to build a new stadium or redevelop Old Trafford might go to the side at some point, and they might say, listen, we've got 300 additional cash here now. We might have to start pumping that into to cover some of these loans or the overall debt of transfers over the recent years.
I'm going to go out on the whim and say no. Solely because I think to address the debts first, the whole plan of them or Qatar taking over was that they'd been able to clear the debts. So in Ineos's case, the idea was that they take those debts onto the company because they have enough money to clear that on their side as well. It helps their build up as well. But the stadium will probably just be second to transfers. Obviously, everyone knows that the club and the squad is renovating on a massive scale. Like it's crazy how
definitely works. Yeah.
How much change is needed at Old Trafford, but the stadium will be built. I think what we need to be careful of, and what fans need to be understanding, is that it probably just take a longer process. So rather than expecting it like the Emirates, I think it took about 4 or 5 years. This might be the same sort of process, because Arsenal need to be careful with funds. But at the same time, you saw how it crippled Arsenal in the transfer market. I don't think Sergeant Ratcliffe is going to use the stadium to do that same thing, because the team needs to change, and he's trying to make the team work within the next 3 years. He's not slowing down for anybody. He knows it's a process, but everyone knows at the same time, if you're just very smart in the transfer window, it just takes one click of the button to get things going, and whether that's with Ten Hag or not, who knows. But it'll be interesting to see which way they structure, or they sort of put in place which one's the most important, which is the least important. The first thing they've addressed is the structure of the club. Murto gone, Woodward gone, all these guys out of there. Now you're looking at, like I said, Dan Ashworth, potentially Junior Ward, potentially Jason Wilcox. We can't get Sam Joe anymore because your man took him. So bun you guys for that one. That guy's damn good at his job. He's damn good at his job. But no, it's promising regardless. It's promising. It's funny because both our clubs, I think, are in the same predicament. You got a new owner already, but he almost came in without an actual idea of what he wanted to do or how to do it properly. Now it looks like, there's someone like Sam Joe coming in at first. It was like there's a little change going in the structure board so that maybe Bowley can be advised better. And that works as well with Jim Ratcliffe, because he might know Manchester United, he might love the club, but we need people in there that know how to do transfers properly.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's one of the things that when I looked at, like you acquired the chief exec from City, I think, as well, haven't you? So I think him coming in, I feel like United are doing things how Chelsea should have done things in terms of getting the structure at the top right first. And there will be, there's still money to spend in the summer. When I said, do you think that the money that Jim Ratcliffe is coming with is going to have to start dipping into the transfer or be put as part of that transfer fund? There's going to be funds there anyway, but I feel that you will address some of those issues that you've probably had over the last couple of seasons where you've kind of brought players in for big money. I think there'll be a change in that transfer strategy and the recruitment strategy, and the staff that you're bringing in clearly there seems to be a vision overall with the club at the moment, trying to bring in certain people to negotiate these deals, to go and recruit these players that you want, to then probably get rid of some of the players that have been at the club for so long that shouldn't even be there. I don't want to name any, but there's players that and I know.
Oh, name names, man.
I'll leave that to you, but there's players there that are there just because they're there. Do you know what I mean? They don't actually benefit the team, or they're not really bringing anything to the team. So I think all those things will be addressed. Maybe not this summer, maybe not the next summer, but over the next 3 or 4 years, you'll start seeing that gradual transition of players coming in and the right players going out of the club as well. But there was a lot of noise, I think, when Sir Jim Ratcliffe, I can't believe I just called him Sir, I've gone against my own word. That's your fault as well, because you just called him Sir as well. But there was a thing about, because is Ineos not part of Nice? They own Nice as well, don't they? I think. So there was a conflict of interest discussion, I think, when there was talks of, I think Jim Ratcliffe, when he was even trying to get in touch with Abramovich's representatives, trying to get in touch with them to try and take over at Chelsea, there was a lot of this conflict of interest. Can there be can you own 2 clubs when they're both in European competitions? Is that do you reckon that'll be a problem? Because Nice are doing quite well, I think, in Ligue 1 at the moment as well. So is there a case to say that this could be an issue further down the road for United?
I don't think so. At first, I'm not gonna lie, when I saw when he was first linked with potentially buying a share or how many shares he has, his percentage, and I saw how Nice were performing at that time and the transfers they made, I was very skeptical because it seemed like they were just went for Premier League free agents who have that experience in Premier League. But you know, someone like obviously Ross Barkley's doing well at Luton right now, but within that time period, he was struggling. He wasn't finding his feet anywhere. But it seems like what they had done was just pretty much just study the finances and what they were able to do at Nice. Obviously, FFP, it comes down to how much the club bring in.
Yeah.
If Nice not making the amount of money that you need to, be flexible in the transfer market, you got to go for these guys at first before you improve. But they've improved. They're doing a lot better. They've got a new manager in. He's doing superbly well. They've got an identity. He's working. The conflict of interest thing that came from United fans was there's 2 or 3 players in that club who are wanted by European teams. Would you work a deal, or how would you work a deal with the 2 clubs that you own? I'll put it to people like this. This isn't illegal. I don't know if it's illegal or not on their side, but if you study the City group and what they are, they're going to sign someone from Troyes who's part of this City group umbrella of clubs who just take player from here, there. And for me, as long as he doesn't do that kind of thing, I think we're fine. That's that kind of stuff to be investigated because you basically signed a player that you already own technically. Let's be real, But I think it comes down to that. I think it'll be fine. I think it comes down to how business is done, and they're looking to get the business done in the cleanest way possible. You can see how they're approaching things, and it's very transparent as well. There's no hiding things. There's no sudden appointments of people or players that suddenly deals are suddenly done out of nowhere. It's very transparent. It's very open in the air. So, I guess that the idea is you're trying to avoid at all costs any issues that your neighbours have had. So I think we'll be okay. I don't think we'll suffer from a conflict of interest. And I think considering how well Nice are doing as well, but also you got to understand that you're not getting near PSG when you're Nice. You're just not doing it. The idea is you can use Manchester United as your PSG in the English league if you want, and just build Nice on an accessible level. But part of me also feels like eventually they're going to try and sell Nice. Because Sir Jim's interest is always at Manchester United. So who knows?
I think it's going to be interesting. I'll be honest. I think I want to see how that unfolds because, like you just said, how do you do a deal with Nice if you want the player? It's going to be interesting how that unfolds. But the Glazers, obviously, this has been a thing that a lot of United fans have been. Again, this is why I think I'm not saying you at all, and I'm not saying majority United fans, but there are some United fans that feel with this sort of new stakeholder involved at United now that there's going to be this massive transition, and the issues that the United fans have had with the Glazers is suddenly going to start dwindling down. I don't think that's the case at all because they still own 70% or around there or thereabouts of the club. And I don't think their intention is ever to let go of majority control of this club. I really don't. I think they're here to just sort of try and appease the fans a little bit by bringing in a Jim Ratcliffe, because I think there must be still £700 million worth of debt at United or something like that in the region of that. So how does this change the larger picture for United? Because yes, there's going to be an additional funding to hopefully increase, revenue at the club, which is what the whole ultimate thing is, to either build a stadium or to modernize Old Trafford into the new way of football, make it look like a Tottenham Hotspur stadium or something like that at Wembley. But that's going to be great, because fans are coming, more fans come to the ground, more money for the Glazers and whoever's on those, part of those ownership calls or whatever. But what about the Glazers? Because they're still there, they're still part of the problem. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, they're still calling the shots effectively at the club.
So the important thing that they've taken is the sporting control. That's Ineos, Sergio. Anyway, that's the most important thing. So you've got a case where they've agreed in the contract, it's official, that sporting matters. That's hiring of staff, that's transfer budget, that's negotiation and transfers. The Glazers has a part in that. But of course, the side that you're right about is the fact that the Glazers still have a say because money comes into the club and goes to all the shareholders, and they are the majority holders. But what I will say is this, and I'm about to defend them a little bit on this. But when Qatar were going for 100% of the club, they didn't fight to keep the club. It's come out documented, that they were actually happy to sell as long as they got the money that they demanded. Qatar didn't do that. So in this situation, it looks like they're actually looking to better the situation for the club. However, I'll also counter it with this. This came out yesterday as well. How should I rephrase it? I can't do it word for word, but essentially what it was is they were afraid of United being ultra successful because of the amount of bonuses that they agreed within the contracts with players and clubs. And part of that is because they believed every single word that Edward would give to them. Because they're not these guys are not football people.
Yeah, of course.
If you had someone in that place, you expected to make good footballing decisions.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, he wasn't. But you should have fired him a long time ago. You didn't do that. So you have to play your part. So United making Champions League was enough for them. Because when United make Champions League or don't make Champions League, the Glazers don't suffer. The club suffers because of their deals with Adidas or previously Nike. So that's where the money issue is. And if the players don't qualify for Champions League, they get a wage deduction.
Yeah.
So if Adidas are not paying you the same money because you're in Europa League, well, that's fine because it correlates to your wages going down. So our wage bill goes down anyway alongside the deal. So we're fine. So it's a weird one, but look, the premise alongside this deal was that I think in about 2 or 3 years, the Ineos will be allowed to go and buy out the Glazers for a certain amount of money.
Do you think that's going to happen though? That's what I'm saying. Like, can you see that happening? Because I can't see that happening at all.
I can see it happening, but I can only see it happening if Sir Jim's idea and Ineos' idea of raising up the club actually happens and it works the way they see it happening or they want it to happen. If there's some sort of collapse where it's not happening, it's not working, because it's a patient job, bro. You said it. Man United, they've been paying premium prices. A year before the Solskjaer left, he saw Anthony and said, that's a £20 million player. We pay 85 million for him next summer. You're paying stupid premium prices. I can't even call that premium. What is that?
Extortion, man.
It's extortion. It's pure extortion. So, yeah, I'm just thinking about some of the deals now. It's killing me.
Trust me. Don't do it to yourself, man.
Yeah, and you're always making cuts. You make cuts on Di Maria. You make cuts on Lukaku. You can't fall back with going. So, that's the understanding where they say, okay, look, these clubs are going to say, yeah, you're still Man United, but you're not there yet. So you can spend money, let's spend money because you need to improve the team. Yeah. That's where your most success is going to come from. But that's where the process is. Gradually work it out and then get the clubs to respect you again in the market and say, okay, we'll sell you for this amount because the player wants to go and we want to make the deal happen. But until then, yeah, man, we've got to brace ourselves for one rocky ride, man. It's still going to be tough times, man. It's still going to be tough times.
It's tough, but good times ahead. Like if this works out how I think it could work out for United, I think the big thing is the infrastructure at the club. Let's be honest. I think that has been the key thing. You talk to United fans, yeah, the results haven't been the best on the pitch and the managers that you've had previously haven't probably been the ones that you want at United, but a lot of people talk about the stadium. They talk about the facilities at at Carrington. They talk about the injection of redeveloping other parts. Do you know what I mean? Just basic things that as a normal fan, you probably don't even think about. You just turn up at 3:00 on a Saturday, just watch the game, go home. But there's things that need to happen at that club to sustain, to bring the players that you want to bring in as well. Like Ronaldo, if Ronaldo, what he was saying is true, that the same gym and everything was when he left the first time, he's still there now. You imagine a new player walking in that you want to bring in, like, hypothetical, but you want to get like an Mbappe or Vinicius Jr. You want him to come in and he sees Carrington. He's like, right, is this it? I've just come from Spain to come and see this. So,
and about that interview, what's so damning about it that I feel like Man United fans didn't take notice of, because Ronaldo's right. If you've gone away for, what was it, 12 years. 12 years. You've come back and everything's still the same. It hasn't developed. He's at a status where he's looked at as an idol amongst the next generation of footballers. Yeah. So if they're hearing that Vinicius is and Mbappe have been very vocal on social media about how much they love Ronaldo. Yeah. So let's say they're available out of nowhere and you put your hat in there, they're going to be like, well, my guy came back, and you
told the truth, man. He told you the truth, man.
So where are the changes? Luckily, again for us, Sergeant Ratcliffe has made noise about, and he's actually done an actual tour. He went to a golf club, because obviously when you go to a golf club, just the size of the golf club grass is just huge.
Yeah,
you've got so much space. He's looked to purchase one and renovate it into a new training ground. So that's good news, because you're building something spectacular. But that's going to take time as well. That's not a 1 year job. That's a 2-3 year job.
Gradual thing, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's just about improving things. But no, I think you're spot on. It could be good times, but that's the key word, isn't it? It's could, because you've seen in the past a lot of teams have had new owners, and
listen, don't get me started, please.
Oh, yeah, you're the one. But I think the only situation I can think of that's worse than yours is QPR. When they got Fernandez, because that one was a horror show. I don't know what happened there.
Oh, ours is a horror show. Let's not be around the bush, man. Ours is a horror show as well. But the QPR one was the QPR. I kind of didn't have faith in the Venkis as well. Blackburn.
Oh, Burnley.
Is it Blackburn? Blackburn. Yeah, Blackburn. I didn't have faith in them either, and I can't remember the guy's name at Birmingham. I think he was from Singapore.
Oh, bloody! I forgot about him.
But didn't he go to prison or something as well? He went
straight to jail. Yeah,
like tax evasion or something. Yeah. Anyway, something like
that. Even Man City's first new owners before the Sheikhs. They had those guys. I got Elano and those guys, and that guy was also a criminal as well.
Yeah. So there's been. I mean, we're there with them. We're there with them, but we're one of the better ones. We're in the better amongst all the bad people. We're one of the better ones. But interesting times at United. If you're a United fan, let us know what you think. Get involved in the comments below. Yeah, man, it should be hopefully good times for Old Trafford, man. You might see a redesigned Old Trafford better than the Etihad in a couple of years. We never know, man. But let's move to other news that came out this week around Kylian Mbappe. Finally, looks like he's got his dream move to Real Madrid. I think he came out earlier in the week, I think maybe Monday, or maybe over the weekend, to say that he was officially going to be leaving PSG. He's not going to renew his contract. This is something that I think kind of, if you remember back in the summer, just for a bit of context for the listeners, was kind of up in the air then, because I think he was kind of saying he didn't want to play for PSG. They took him out the preseason tour. He wasn't playing for them. And then all of a sudden they realized, we need you. We need you back in the team. We're going to put you back in and all the rest of it. So, I mean, this has been a deal that's kind of been happening. I think 225 million euros is on the table, 150 million sign-on bonus. I think he's going to be paid yearly in installments. He's taking a wage cut, I think, by 8.5 million a year to sign for Real Madrid due to the wage caps, I think, in La Liga. Good signing, I think, for Real Madrid, surely, for them. So win-win.
This is a deal they can't lose, man. There's even a clause. I think Fabrizio Romano said it on the show. There's a clause in his contract where he can leave for free this summer. So if he leaves for
Real Madrid,
he can leave PSG.
PSG, yeah, he is. Yeah. I think he is though, isn't it? I think if he's not renewing his contract, I think he's leaving for free.
Yeah, exactly. So you leave for free. I think, did he extend it to this year or next year? I can't remember now. Either way, he's gone for free regardless. That's just what it is. And you consider how much they spent on him and Neymar. And they've got
0 trophies. Oh, not 0, but they haven't dominated. They haven't got the one trophy that they bought them for. That's what it is. And essentially, in football terms, you receive chicken change for those guys. That's if you convert it into ends money. You spend about £500. You've got only enough to go and buy 4 wings and chips. It's a calamity. But for Mbappe and for Real Madrid in particular, it is superb. It is superb. And Madrid, Alphonso Davies as well, by the way, they're going for. So you've got Alphonso Davies, you've got Mbappe, you've got Edmund, whatever from back to front. You've got Eden Militao, you've got Alaba, you've got Rudiger, you've got Camavinga, you've got Tchouameni, you've got Valverde, you've got Rodrigo, you've got what's his name, Vinicius, and they still got Endrick coming as well. Listen, there's a revolution happening that people are not ready for, and I have it on good authority. I'm not gonna give any names out because don't know if it's gonna happen or not. Go on.
In 2025, they're aiming at Trent in 2025.
Nah, I heard something else as well. I heard that. But I also heard they haven't stopped their pursuit of Erling Haaland as well. So if that's the case, yeah, imagine that now. They've got Trent. All the players you named, including Trent, Haaland, mental.
And if everyone remembers, Haaland and his father did say that he's not staying in England for more than 5 years. He won't cut.
Yeah, hasn't he got? Isn't there like a release clause in there that activates in 2025 or something like that?
He's going to Madrid, my guy. If he goes to Madrid with Mbappe, yeah, forget about it. It's done. And I'm going to say this now because I know people will be like, well, that's Galacticos again. And Galacticos weren't that successful. Understood. No. Except this is like a team with balance. And if you add these two in there, and these guys at Madrid, these guys will literally go back in circles, round and round, rotate. For the sake of winning, the only person that's at danger of losing this place in starting 11 is Rodrigo. And I think he'd be fine with it anyway. Yeah, quite frankly. So, of course. Yeah. Madrid are looking to do another three-peat of the Champions League, and I can't lie, I'm here for it. Absolutely here for it.
It is crazy, man. It is absolutely crazy. I've just been reading here, so yeah, he's agreed a deal after his PSG contract expires. So yeah, what you said and what Fabrizio Romano said is correct because he ain't got. So basically, that 150 that they're paying him is basically the money that they probably would have offered, probably a bit more for PSG anyway. Do you get what I mean? So they basically paid him the transfer fee and he's getting that. So he's smart because he's got paid lovely at PSG. If you remember, he was part of the board, wasn't he, at PSG as well? So he was on all the board and all that. He was getting all these sponsorships and highest paid player and all that. But I think PSG, I'll be honest, I think PSG are in, not that they're in trouble, but they could be because you look at Neymar, you look at, like you said, Mbappe, Messi was there as well. You know, they've had players come in and they haven't really, I was thinking this when, even when Tuchel was there before, obviously they had Mbappe and all that, but even when Pochettino was there, like they've had opportunity to win things. And I mean, the Champions League and things like that. And they ain't even done that. And they spent some mad money. So I don't know what's next for them. I don't know who they think they can go out there and draw in because there ain't no one else like, there ain't no another Mbappe out there. There ain't another Haaland. They've already had Messi and Neymar. Ronaldo ain't going there. His old age. Who are they going out to get? This Ferguson. Get Ferguson from Brighton.
Hey, to be fair, I want him.
Yeah, he's good. No, he's good. I'm disrespecting. I'm just saying, like, who's the next thing to come through?
No, you're right. Yeah, absolutely.
See going there. I can't see anyone going there right now. And I think like Monaco went like that. Remember when Monaco had all the money and they were buying this at the Falcaos and that, and they had all the money, and then they kind of dipped off a little bit, and then they're kind of having another resurgence. But I don't know, man. Who can they go and get?
Well, this is where I think they need to really sit down and actually plan properly and rebuild and focus on the youth. And because you got that Bacola guy coming through, super talent. You know, you sign guys like Ugarte from Sporting. He's only 22, gonna be 23 soon. Like you've got a base of actual young players that are good. Now just put the squad that works around it. That's your job now.
I think the key thing though, they gotta try and find the balance in the squad, but also make sure they which I'm not saying the manager that they have at the moment isn't, but the manager has to be right as well. And I think that's where they've gone wrong last time, especially Pochettino. Looking back, that was probably not the best idea to get him in, to be fair. I don't know. But last thing on Mbappe as well, he keeps a percentage of his image rights, which is a big thing. Like when you think about... Listen, like I said at the start of this bit, it's a win-win for Real Madrid. It's even a win for PSG in effect because the saga's over for now. Do you know what I mean? Like they've kind of had that hanging over their head for nearly 2 years. The saga's over. They know what's happening now. He's not going to be there. They have to go and start recruiting or trying to find someone else to fill that void. I think he's the highest scorer for them. 224 goals or something like that for PSG. Yeah. So
they're very recent, isn't it? Because before it was Ibrahimovic, then it was Cavani.
So they've got to find that's a big gap to fill when you think of like even there, Cavani and Ibrahimovic, two big names to go and fill. You go and get Mbappe, but who's next? So it ain't looking good, PSG. It ain't looking good for you like out there. It's not looking good for you. I'll tell you who else it ain't looking good for as well. Liverpool or Chelsea, actually. Let me not get ahead of myself here. It's not looking good for Chelsea either. League Cup final this weekend, Sunday. I think they moved the time now a bit earlier than originally scheduled for. Wembley, obviously 90,000 people will be there. Injury galore though. I think this is the only thing I'll say on both sides. You know, obviously Jota, I don't know if you got to see Jota's injury on Saturday. Bad injury, man. It was one of those where when he fell on his knee, you just knew. And then he tried to get up and walk as well. I said, where are you going? I said, get the stretcher on for my man. Man, he ain't walking nowhere. Bad injury for him. Curtis Jones looks like it's out. Trent out. Alisson and Salah. Obviously Liverpool play Luton as we're recording this. Luton play Liverpool tonight. So there's a doubt for them too. They're hopefully trying to get them back in time. Nunes, I can't remember if I just mentioned him as well. So
he's out as well. He's
a doubt. I think they're trying to rush him back for tonight to get him ready for Sunday. But Chelsea on the flip side as well, they got the same amount of injuries. But what's your thoughts on the injuries first of all? Because it seems both teams, Chelsea have had them all season, but there seems to be this small window now, maybe say like the four weeks that Liverpool have just been dropping like flies, and they just seem to be dropping, man. What's going on with them?
I think, well, Liverpool's was one lucky. I definitely know about Jota's injury because he was my FPL team from the game week, so he can do one. But the luxury that Liverpool have is that they've got enough players to rotate. So you've got Gakpo and Diaz who will walk in and play with Salah. Salah's on the bench before he came on and done his damage anyway, so they'll be fine. But I think their biggest issue is midfield because they look lost without Dominic Szoboszlai in the middle, which is a big one. And as much as you have injuries, you guys can take courage from the fact that in most recent results, bar maybe 1 or 2 games, you've been playing a lot better. You've been getting results in there. Red City, and quite frankly, I think most people, including Chelsea fans, yourself included, probably expect City to, wipe the floor.
Dominate, yeah, man.
Yeah, and it wasn't even near. In fact, dare I say, you guys, if you're more clinical, especially one certain individual, no names, you could have tucked them to bed. I know you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I know the guy, man. Unfortunately,
yeah. So does Astrid Wet apparently, but
yeah, I just caught undone then. Yeah.
But no, seriously, I think it's an interesting game. What people need to realize is these cup finals are never ever that simple. It's just what it is. I know City, when it's domestically, they've been dominant in a while, but every now and then you can get at that club, and it's been proven. You proved it as well. There's no fear in my opinion of City. If I'm being honest, they are good, but they can be guys when they're team. So I think you guys need to approach it with some energy. You got Nkunku now fit and playing. Sterling got a goal back. That's a huge confidence booster. Cole Palmer is very, very good as well. Nicholas Jackson, he's all right on occasion. But the most important thing, and I think this needs to continue from this day onwards, is Colwill and Disasi as a partnership, because it looked like Enzo Fernandez and Casado could enjoy going a bit forward a bit more and playing with the team, and also you got Lavia coming back as well. It's all important. So I don't think you should fear Liverpool, but Liverpool are always going to be dangerous. Trent is injured as well, so that's a big one.
Conor Bradley, man, can't forget him.
He's good. He's new to this thing, but he's good. And obviously they got Robertson fit back in time as well. But I will make this point about Robertson. In the last couple of months,
he's declined.
He's declined badly. So don't fear this team. I don't think if Alisson will be fit, there's nothing to fear in my opinion. Go out there and try and get the win. Honestly,
I think it's I agree with you. I think it's a game that can go either way. And if previous results, I'm going back 2 years when we played them in the FA Cup final, League Cup final, both lost on penalties by small margins, and I think we had a goal ruled offside. I think in the League Cup,
the Lukaku one where he was miles onside.
Van Dijk, I think, was playing them on. I think Kelleher was always going to start and goal for Liverpool anyway. I think he's been their League Cup goalkeeper. He's always going to be in goal. On Sunday, I think Conor Bradley will be good. I wouldn't be surprised to see Joe Gomez at left back. I think he's been filling in there while Robertson's been injured, and he's actually done a decent job. Someone I've been critical of as a centre back, but as a left back, he's done really well. Endo for Liverpool has come in leaps and bounds over the last couple of weeks, because I was kind of like, why have you got rid of Henderson, or allowed Henderson to go and bring in Endo? I didn't really see it, but now I'm seeing it. He's getting a lot more involved. But I mean, look, what I said about City at the weekend was you got to attack certain teams and you can't allow them to, you can't invite all that pressure. And we did that in the second half. That's why I think City, they're always going to score anyway. But I think we allowed them to score because we went to a back five and we allowed all the pressure and the balls into the box. It was just too much for us to cope with. We can't allow that on Sunday. We have to attack them. And we have to be on the counter. Like we've done in the first half, we were counting. Jackson should have scored his 1v1. All of those things that if went our way on Saturday, we got to do the same on Sunday. We can't afford for Liverpool to kind of come in and do that. And, you know, we've got injuries as well, like you said, but we've got some returning like Lavia, as you mentioned. I agree with you with Colwell and Zazie. I think I'd start with the two of them. I think Badia shows a race against time, to be fit. Same with Silva. Exactly. Same with Silva. I think Silva now is at that point where you can tell he's nearly 40. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but I think he slows down the game. He's kind of getting caught out every now and again. And if Núñez is fit, nightmares already about him and Silva trying to compete on a race against time to get to the ball. You know who's winning the race between Núñez and Silva? Do you know what I mean?
Facts.
Oh, even Salah. Forget just Núñez. Salah, Gapco, any of them lot. They got
Diaz.
They got
speed, man.
They got the pace over Salah. So that's a worry for me. If we try and go, and I get why we might put Silva in there for the experience, his last opportunity at Wembley, because he looks like he's going to leave in the summer. I get all that. But one of the things I said on my Chelsea podcast was, one of the things we didn't do on Saturday was see the game out properly. We brought on Chalobah, Casadei. It didn't really work. And I think if we're going to try and say we go 1-0 up, 2-0 up against Liverpool, for me, I would then bring on Thiago Silva for the last 15 minutes of that game. If we're 1-0 up, 2-0 up, see the game out with some experience, then you'd expect some tired legs from Liverpool. They've got a game tonight. We haven't. So they're going to be more fatigued, hopefully, than us playing in the midweek game. Bring on the experience then. Don't start with Thiago Silva because, listen, it's going to be a long day. But, I mean, obviously, Liverpool are going to want this. This is Klopp's, the way that Sky dubbed it already, it's Klopp's first road to farewell, something stupid like that or whatever. You know what Sky's like already, man. Bend over backwards for Klopp. But, I mean, this could be a massive dent in Liverpool's whole kind of let's win as many trophies for Klopp. Because if they lose this one, mentally, that's going to have a big factor, I think, especially... I'm hoping here, wishful, but if they lose tonight, for instance, to Luton, which is never an easy game, let's be honest, Luton can take points off people. If they lose that game, go into this final, lose that, this could be the start of the end for Liverpool and Klopp, man. What's your thoughts?
They're panicking a little bit, innit? They've got so many things going on right now. It's crazy because injuries aside, the idea is that they're going to try and do sort of like a renaissance charge for the manager. One more time, let's get it going. You know, we've only won one tie with him, but they've won everything with him, but it's one each. Whereas, you know, apart from the Champions League, City have collected a lot around them, but they're supposed to be the main challengers City at the time. And then you've got the added factor now of Arsenal in the league doing what they do. When you played Arsenal last, Arsenal dealt with them. So it's a tough one. But what I will say is this: I'll say it again. You guys must not get involved in this Klopp last season crap.
Yeah, no.
Cut it out.
100%.
Cut it out. If they are about business, they will do their side and do it fine. This isn't about Klopp leaving. This is whether Liverpool and their players want to continue to be successful or not. That shouldn't be a question. Because when Klopp goes, you're still going to be there.
Yeah. 100%.
So you're going to level up or you're going to get gone. So on your side now, Chelsea players, you've come in, you've got a point to prove, starting to get results. Looks like your tactics are starting to work fine. This is your first chance of winning a trophy. Are you going to use that trophy to go and boost your confidence and take you to another level and say, okay, cool? Because I always say this: the reason why I love Mourinho so much is because no matter what club he joined in England, he took that first trophy. So important.
Yeah,
and he always won the League Cup in his first year. Direct. Chelsea won it first year. Man United won it. Chelsea again won it. Like we don't play games. This is a booster. It boosts your confidence. It might not be looked like an FA Cup, but it's still a trophy. And trophies boost your ego and get you better. You want to go out there and perform. And especially for you guys who have signed a lot of young players, it'll be good to get that first taste of silverware because it builds mentality also. And I'll keep saying it as well. I know Pochettino's been very iffy, but I don't think there's a better manager that you can get after him anyway. That's good. or better with younger players than him. So, I think you just got to approach the game with chess. Liverpool, I think they got to do the same. They can't worry about the injuries too much because they've still got a good team. They've still got their partnership in the back. They've still got Conor Bradley's coming in. He's been a revelation, so that's not a problem. Robertson is their guy. We know that from sure. Midfield is still good. McAllister's still a good player as well. And when you got Salah, he's a game winner. He can change the game like that. So I want to give them excuses either. I don't give any team any excuse. I think you go out there and prove your point. So Liverpool got a lot to do, but we'll see what happens.
It'll be interesting because I just think this now, as much as both, I agree with you. I've always said no one cares about the League Cup until you're at Wembley. I'm not like that. I've always said even round 3, I think we had to enter it early this year because we didn't obviously, where we finished last season. So I've always said when we play our first game, for me, I'm already thinking about Wembley from that moment, round 3 or round 2, whenever we entered. For us though, for Chelsea, I think it's a lot more, the incentive's more because we know that this is our gateway, realistically, into the Conference League. Like, if we win this, I think we enter the qualifying rounds of the Conference League for next season. So, as small as that sounds, that's a stepping stone to me for where we need to start trying to get back to. And I've been saying that to Chelsea fans for time, like, what do you mean Conference League? We're better than that. No, we're not. We're mid-table for a reason. Like, let's be real. So, if we can get into that Conference League, you just hit the nail on the head then. A lot of these young players, that's a trophy they can win. Like, that Conference League is a trophy they can actually go on to win. Then you start building above and that. You build in a bit more, you bring in a bit more experienced players, the 28, 29-year-olds, 30-year-olds. When we lose Silva, we're going to need some more of that. So you bring a couple of them in to nurture some of these youngsters. Then you try and get the Europa League, or you try and get into top 4, and then you try to get back in the Champions League. Do you get what I'm saying? So for me, this is like, I kind of got all my eggs in one basket, I'm not going to lie, for this final. I have, because if we can get into that, win it. Because I think I read as well last night that, this whole talk about whoever finishes 5th gets Champions League. I'm pretty sure that's changed now, and it's a French or an Italian. I think French and Italian teams that will get that fifth spot.
It has changed because obviously I think I told you because Man United and Newcastle messed up. That put our coefficient in danger. I think the only way now England get it is if an English team wins Champions League, English team wins the Europa League. I don't know how much impact the Conference League has on it, but we basically need who's left? Arsenal City, innit? Arsenal
City in the Champions League, and is it Liverpool in Europa League?
Liverpool Europa League, yeah. So you need those teams to do their thing, really. That's basically what it is. So
it doesn't matter to me because we're not getting it anyway. But I mean, in terms of us we're not going to get it. We'll be honest. But in terms of qualifying for a European competition, that's the best we're going to get this season. The Conference League. So we have to go all out and leave everything out there, in my opinion, anyway. But I don't know, man. Interesting. Before we move on. Score predictions, because I don't think we're going to record until after the final now. Score predictions. What are you going for?
I want to go 1-1 penalties, and this time you guys will take it.
You're brave.
This time.
You're not brave. I agree with that, actually. I think we can beat them. I know it sounds crazy.
You can. But anyone can be beaten.
No, exactly. And I maybe again bias or just my own passion for the club, but I think based on how we've been playing, and as long as we don't tinker with that squad too much, and we stick with the back 4 that we've been playing, and we stick with Jackson maybe on the left, maybe bringing Cuckoo into that middle role, like the false 9 or whatever you want to call it, the striker role. You put Palmer to the right. Bit harsh on Sterling, because where do you play him? Do you know what I mean? That's the only tricky bit for me, is in our attack. How do you fit all those players that are kind of performing well into a team of 11? But I think we can, as long as we take the game to them, we've got every chance to win that game. And I'm gonna go 2-0. I'm gonna go 2-0. No, 2-1. Let's get too carried away. Let's go 2-1. I think they'll score.
I think that's fair. I mean, Liverpool always get a goal. They find it somehow, so they always get a goal. But you can win. You can certainly win. I don't see why not. Even my prediction, I know people listen to it like, oh yeah, but you don't like Liverpool. Listen, I've sat on a podcast and I've said it's going to be Liverpool 4, Man United 0, and it's ended up being 7-0.
Yeah,
so listen, this ain't no bias thing. This is my prediction, isn't it? But yeah, we move, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it should be a good final Sunday. So, and again, if you're in the comments or you're watching this video, let us know your thoughts in the comments about who you think is going to win, who would you start as well. But let's move on to the weekend, because there's still obviously other fixtures happening amongst the weekend. Obviously, Chelsea. I think Chelsea will take on Spurs this weekend as well. Obviously, been postponed, but we've got. Let's not talk about Liverpool Luton. I think that's a Anfield game, so ideally you think Liverpool should win that, but stranger things have happened. But let's move on to Saturday. So we've got it's last week. I was going to say, I'm sure Liverpool played Brentford already, but yeah, so we've got Villa, Forest, Villa Park.
I'll go Villa for that one. Yeah,
they should beat them there. They should beat them. Yeah. Brighton versus Everton at the Amex.
I think Everton's going to win that, you know.
You reckon? Do you know what I'll say to that, actually? I'll say the only way they win that is if Everton play two up top. They got to play Beto and Calvert-Lewin, because when they did that against Palace on Monday, it changed the game. They had more bodies in the box. They were more of a threat going forward. They got to play two up top, otherwise they're not going to get service to Calvert-Lewin. So, but sorry, what did you say for that one? 2-0?
3-1.
3-1 to Everton?
Yeah.
Boy, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Crystal Palace versus Burnley at Selhurst. Obviously, they just appointed their new manager. Roy Hodgson's been let go. Thankfully, Palace fans will be in the same vein, I think. Thankfully, he's gone. Tough one. 6-pointer again, really, isn't it? Because Burnley need the points, man. 13 points this season.
I'm going to go 1-1 draw.
Good one. I'd have said the same, to be fair. I think it'd be even game there. Your boys, United, against Fulham, Old Trafford.
Truth be told, I'm not going to lie to you. I expect to win. No problem. Not no problem. That's a lie, because we saw what happened last weekend. But United to win. I'll go United 3-1 as well.
Yeah, I'd say 3-0. A 3-0 for United on that one, because
I'd love a clean sheet.
Yeah, I was just looking there. Fulham they've won 1 in the last 8 against the only wins against Bournemouth, so they're in some bad form there. Okay, Bournemouth versus Man City.
It's funny enough, this is actually going to be a tricky game for Man City, but I think they'll get by. I'm going to go 2-1 City. Because Bournemouth will be techie. It'll be difficult, believe me, but I'm going to go 2-1 City.
They've got a good record at away, City. They play well there. The only thing I'll say is they struggled even last night against Brentford.
They did.
So I get your point. Yeah, I reckon I'll win, but I'm gonna go 1-0 City as well. So
okay.
Yeah. The last game on Saturday is Arsenal Newcastle at the Emirates.
Arsenal in form, but Newcastle. I think it's weird with Newcastle, because they'll go away one week and get destroyed, and then next week they'll go and put our performance up.
The inconsistent kings, isn't it?
Yeah. Whereas Arsenal are just putting up numbers. They're just smacking teams right now.
They're just doing it.
I think Arsenal will win, but I think the number will not be a 5 or a 6. So I'm gonna go 3-1 Arsenal.
Yeah, I'll do the same. I'll do the same on that one. Only one kickoff on Sunday, obviously because of the cup final. So we've got Wolves, Sheffield United at Molineux. Another difficult game, I think. Sheffield United seem to be slowly picking up a bit of form. They're still bottom of the table, joint points at the bottom with Burnley, but this is a game, again, they must win, surely, to try and keep any chance of survival in the Premier League.
I agree, but I don't think that's going to happen. So I think
shut that right down.
Yeah, I want to go Wolves 2-0. Wolves are not consistent enough to bang a team, but I think they lost Cunha, but they got Wan Hee-chan back. So.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah, and obviously Neto's fit, and you got Sarabia as well. So I think they'll have enough in the tank, man. Yeah. So I want to give them a 2-0 home win.
Yeah, I'm going to go 1-0 Wolves on that one, but it should be a good shot. And the Monday game, West Ham London City Stadium, your second team theoretically against Brentford. Another good game, man. I'm looking forward to that on Monday.
I'm gonna say this, and I don't like saying this, but I don't think the players have any more interest in David Moyes.
Yep, 100%.
So sorry, West Ham, but I think Brentford take this one 2-1.
Yeah, I think the fact that Brentford have seemed to, again, last night they played very well, unlucky to walk away with nothing, but I think Ivan Toney's sort of clicking again now. Wisa, I love another player that I think is brilliant for them as well. Tough one. 2-0 Brentford, I think. 2-0 Brentford on that one. I think, man. So, yeah, man. Should be some good games this weekend, man. Some good games.
Interesting games, yeah.
Very, very good games. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to the weekend. Obviously, the big one for me is Sunday. Looking forward to that, man. Can't wait for that as well. But let us know your thoughts in the comments. Let us know what you think about our predictions about the cup final coming up on Sunday. Mbappe moving to Real Madrid. Is he going to be successful there? Do they go and get Erling Haaland, Trent Alexander-Arnold as well? Two big players. If they can get them, I expect them to win everything, including the World Cup as well and the Euros with that squad. Also, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, I'm going to call him Sir for the end of this. Bit of respect on his name. Ian Os as well, the whole group about Old Trafford. Did they move, relocate, expand on Old Trafford as it is? Let us know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to go to the audio version of the podcast as well. Make sure you follow on there, Spotify, all of those stuff as well. Make sure you subscribe, like I said at the start of this. Free midfield as always as well. I think we're recording that very, very soon, so keep an eye on that. The link is in the description for that as well. Go and follow, sub, all of that there as well. Kojo, as always, man, pleasure. Co-host, all that. Co-host duties.
Always. Anytime.
Anytime. We'll be back next week, man. Episode 16 done, man. Peace, man.
Peace out.